Good evening, everybody. My name is Steve Croft, and we're here with United Financial Freedom. We thank you for letting us come into your home this evening. This evening, we're going to share with you some information that has basically been hidden by the financial world to so many people. And we want you to really focus on what you hear and what you see tonight, because not only can it change your family's future, it can change your personal future and future of many people that you know and love, whether it's their business, their corporation, or their family. And we are so honored tonight to have a tremendous guest speaker that's going to share this with you. This man has been in the financial services industry for decades, and he truly understands the pain that people go through from what's happened up and down with the economy, what happens with just the lack of knowing how money really works because they don't share it with anybody in the financial world. They just don't. They didn't do it for us in school. They sure don't do it for us from going to the bank and talking to them about it. On top of that, he has a great faith because he's a man of God, he's a pastor, and he puts those two things together to have that heart of serving, a heart of helping, a tremendous educator, a tremendous researcher and reader of what's going on in the world today in finance and money, and the passion of holding you together as you move forward so you can have hope in your financial future. One of our amazing leaders for our company, someone who trains thousands of people across the nation throughout the years. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to my dear friend and someone who will share with you some amazing information tonight, Mr. Lynn Spencer. Lynn, the microphone is yours, sir.
Thank you, Steve. Really appreciate that awesome introduction. And friends, I'm thanking you as well. I truly want to thank you for being on here tonight. And I think you're in for an incredible journey. I think your journey of freedom is just beginning. And after you see what I'm going to share with you tonight, I'm telling you what, folks, you are going to be feeling like you just got set free. You're going to have new hope, and it's going to be exciting. So thank you all for being on tonight. Really appreciate you taking time out of your evening. Folks, before I get started, I do want to just cover the legalese, if you will. The following slides are for education and illustration purposes only. No specific income is being guaranteed or promised. No specific results are being guaranteed or promised. Results will vary. This is an independent business opportunity that you've tuned in to see. And what you get out of it depends entirely on the amount of effort and time that you put into it. For precise details of the United Financial Freedom Independent Agent Compensation Plan and Business Opportunity, please refer to the official company website of the individual who referred you to this presentation. So with that, let's jump right in, folks. And again, thank you all so much for being part of this presentation. You are about to see the greatest business opportunity on the planet. Now, I know a lot of companies say that. I know a lot of businesses say that. When we're done tonight, I promise you, your jaw is going to be on the floor, your mouth is going to be wide open, and you're going to say, yeah, it really is the greatest business opportunity on the planet. Bar none. This beats everything out there. You know, most people shrink their dreams to match their income. But what if you could grow your income to match your dreams? How many of you have given up dreaming? Especially in the last 2 to 3 years. My goodness, it just feels like we've been beat up emotionally, and physically, and spiritually, and politically, and mentally, and financially. It just feels like we've all been under attack for the last 2 or 3 years. Well, what if you could start dreaming again? And what if you could literally increase the size of those dreams? What if you could increase your income while simultaneously rapidly converting your debt into wealth? Who do you know that's being crushed by inflation? Who do you know that has debt, and debt that I'm sure they would love to get rid of? Mortgages, auto loans, credit cards, student loans, and so much more. Who do you know that needs a lot more income in today's economic environment? With inflation, it's crazy out there. It's just absolutely crazy. I went to the grocery store yesterday, and seems like there was nothing anywhere in the store under $5, and a lot of it was from $5 to $7 to $8, $9, $10. You get a couple of bags of groceries and you walk out spending $150 or more. It's just insane, and that's not what's going on at the gas pumps, and you name it. It's just it feels like some days it's out of control and we would look around and wonder where it's going to stop. Well, let me ask you another question tonight, and this is important. I want you to really think about this. Take some time tonight to think about this. What have you invested so far in your life in both time and money to get where you are at right now in your life? What have you invested both in time and money? Maybe you went to school. Maybe you've got, student loan debt. Maybe you've got a degree. Maybe you invested in a trade school or career, or maybe you've just been through the school of hard knocks like I was. Well, whatever you've invested in both time and money to get you where you are right now in life, has it paid off the way that you had hoped and planned? Are you where you want to be financially in your life at this point of time in your life, at this age where you are? Are you where you want to be? Are you debt free? Do you currently have both financial and time freedom? And both of those are important. I'm telling you, as we age, as I get older, time freedom is becoming so much more valuable than even financial freedom. And they're both incredibly important. Folks, I want to look tonight at three different things. First, what is the cost of a job? Most people know that JOB stands for just over broke, because if you just have a job and you're working for somebody else your entire life, what do you end up with? Well, in most cases, you end up with a ton of debt and nothing to show for 35, 40, 45, 50 years of working for somebody else. If you're working for somebody else, the real true cost of the job, or just over broke throughout your lifetime, is really that you end up with nothing. That's the true cost of a job. What's the cost of a career? Well, there's a lot of different careers out there. We'd spend all night if we listed them all, so I'm just going to kind of pick an example. If you wanted to be a plumber, you can expect to invest up to $23,000 so that you'll be able to earn anywhere between $66,000 to $84,000 a year. Maybe you would like to be a truck driver. I used to be a truck driver. Well, nowadays, to get your Class A license and certified and get through all of the stuff that's required just to be a truck driver and to be away from your family a lot, and you're giving up a lot, costs you up to $12,000 to get your Class A license and skills and all of the learning that you need to be a truck driver, where you'll earn $60,000 to maybe $79,000 per year. And folks, everything I'm putting on screen tonight is absolutely public information. This is all just from a simple Google search. What if you wanted to be a cosmetologist? Well, that's going to cost you up to $7,000 in schooling and learning that trade so that you can stand on your feet all day and earn $40,000 to $45,000 per year. Attorneys. Did you know that attorneys are now investing on an average of $180,000 to up to $206,000 so that they can earn between $78,000 to $140,000 a year? And many of them are in school loan debt for the rest of their careers. If you wanted to get into nursing, it's going to cost you up to $80,000 to become a registered nurse. And of course, that gives you the ability to earn $78,000 to $170,000 a year. Good money. But again, how many hours a week are you working? How much time and effort and money did you put into getting there? And how much time are you away from family? Friends, I'm going to tell you tonight, mathematically speaking, for Lynn Spencer, I love financial freedom, love it. But what's more important than financial freedom? Time freedom. Time freedom. What's the cost of going into business? So if we're not going to follow the path of the just over broke and working for somebody else, if we're not going to follow the path of the job, if those other careers are not quite doing it for us, what does it cost to start a business? Well, according to the internet, the average startup and first year business costs often fall between $30,000 and $40,000. What about a franchise? Well, franchise startup costs can be as low as 10 grand or as high as 5 million. The majority of franchise startups are between 100,000 to $300,000. You've got to have a lot of money in the bank to start a franchise. And a lot of those even now don't succeed. A lot of those even fail. So friends, I want you to really think about this. What if you could consistently earn anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 per week, beginning immediately with just a one-time small investment of only $41.94. And if you can't afford $41.94, it's okay. We can finance up to 100% of it with payments as low as $125 a month. Now, I'm going to stop right there and just let you think about that for a minute. What if you could start earning $1,000 to $4,000 a week immediately before you even make your first monthly payment of $125? You see, if you finance that, folks, if you don't have the $41.94 to put up front, it's okay. It's all right. Finance it up to 100% financing available. And you're not even going to make your first payment of $125 until 30 days from now, right? By then, you could make how much money? Are you starting to get the picture? And what if that same one-time low investment also saved you 15 to maybe 25 years of debt and mortgage payments? Folks, I told you, this is the greatest business opportunity on the planet. Now, if you can do the $41.94 up front, if you're able to do that, you can even get a discount. And it's not even going to cost you $41.94. We can discount that pricing. But friends, this is the only opportunity on the planet that allows you to rapidly decrease your debt while rapidly increasing your income simultaneously. I'm telling you, this is life-changing. You could be enjoying savings of $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 on your existing debts. How powerful is that? Would you trade a one-time investment of $41.94 for the ability to save $150,000 and save 20, 25 years of mortgage payments? Heck yes, of course you would. Who wouldn't? Would you trade $4,000 one time in order to earn $1,000 a week, $3,000 a week and more? Friends, I'm going to make all of this make sense for you. And I'm telling you, you're going to be so excited, you're not going to be able to sleep tonight. Because you know as well as I do, millions of Americans need help. And they need financial help. You know as well as I do, people are struggling financially. Inflation is squeezing them from all sides. Every day there's another news report about, the cost of housing, the cost of, the other day we saw an article where more and more cars are being repossessed because they can't afford the car payments. And now the average car payment, if you can afford it, is creeping up close to $1,000. It's just getting insane. I want to introduce you tonight to United Financial Freedom. These are the founders of United Financial Freedom. Skylar Whitman is here on the top, John Washenko on the bottom. These guys are remarkable individuals. Back in the 1990s and early 2000s, they owned their own mortgage company. They were having tremendous success. They were bringing on hundreds of clients every month, but they were keenly aware of the debt position that it was putting their clients into. And not only that, they were keenly aware of the debt epidemic that has been going on in America for decades. And they saw some of their own mortgage clients coming back every 2, 3, 4 years, refinancing, kicking the can of debt down the road. And you can only do that so many times, folks, until you're bankrupt. So these guys decided they were going to invest millions of dollars of their own money and develop a program that would be super simple and super easy for the average American family to be able to save a ton of money. The Money Max account program allows people to pay off a 30-year mortgage along with all of their other debts in as little as 5 to 7 years, saving tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars over that period of time without refinancing, without changing their budget, and without sacrificing their current lifestyle. And these guys knew they had to make it so simple and so easy that anybody could do it. And that's exactly what they did. Anybody can do this. They've gotten a lot of national recognition. I'm sure you've heard the name Ernst & Young. They won the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award for the Utah region back in 2008. That's not an award that Ernst & Young just hands out at random. Ernst & Young being a worldwide accounting firm, and if they put their name on something, boy, they dig, they deep dive. They came in and dug deep into the company's financials, the owner's financials, the longevity, what's the product viability, how's the retention, how's it impacting the consumer. Some of the same, some companies that won that same award were Apple, Starbucks, eBay, and Microsoft. So you can see that puts this company in a very prestigious position. This is a 25-year-old plus company in the financial services arena. And now, 2023, we've helped over 80,000 clients pay off over $2.4 billion of principal debt. Thousands of our families are now completely debt-free and enjoying a much better lifestyle. So why does this program work? How does this program work? Well, to illustrate how the program works, I first need to help you understand the true cost of debt. Because friends, if you don't understand the true cost of debt, then you don't have any urgency to get out of debt. You don't have any reason to want to get out of debt until it's too late, until you've struggled yourself into bankruptcy. Let me show you the true cost of debt, and I'm only going to show you a couple of examples tonight. One example is consumer debt, such as a credit card. If I run down to my local electronics store or Costco or whatever, and I want this big, new, fancy 85-inch big screen TV, and I'm so excited to get this big TV and hang it on the wall. I don't have the money to buy it, so I'm just going to put that on a credit card, and it's going to be about $2,500. And let's say that the credit card is charging me 18% interest. Well, friends, if I just pay the minimum monthly payment on that, did you know it's going to take me 333 months to pay it off? And on top of the $2,500, it's going to cost me an additional $5,896.48 just in interest. The total cost of that TV over that period of time becomes $83.96.48. And the sad part of it is, it's not even going to last 333 months. And you all know exactly what I'm talking about. Do you, or maybe somebody you know, have something on the credit card statement every month you're still paying for that has long since worn out or been thrown away? And over that lifetime of making payments, that ends up being 235% interest. It's not 18%, because interest is cumulative. And it ends up being 235% interest. Let's look at a mortgage. Friends, I want you to put the phones down. I want you to really pay attention to what I'm about to show you. Remember, this was a mortgage company. And when you see the true cost of a mortgage, again, you're not going to be able to keep your mouth closed. You're going to want to tell people about this because it's far worse than you thought. Let's look at a $300,000 mortgage at an annual percentage rate of 4% with a monthly payment of $1,432.25. If this was my mortgage in the first 5 years, I would have paid $85,935 total to the lender. They only give me credit for $28,657. That's how much went to principal. Well, where did the other $57,000 go? Oh, yeah, that's interest. Does that look like 4% interest to you? Seriously, get out a calculator and figure it out. Does that really look like 4%? No, it's not. It's 66.7% of every monthly payment that you made for the first 5 years went to interest. Now, most people will stop me right there and say, yeah, I know it's It's front end loaded, but it gets better. All right, let's see how much better it gets and how quick. At the 10-year mark, you've paid in $171,870. They give you credit for $63,648. That's the principal. $108,000 up to that point was interest. Yep, you guessed it, 62.97% interest in the first 10 years. At the 20-year mark, 10 more years down the road after the first 10 years, at the 20-year mark, you've paid $343,740, $158,536 went to principal. You've barely reached the halfway point of technically paying off about half of the home. Look how much interest you paid. 158 went to principal, 185,000 was interest in the first 20 years, 53.88%. Friends, listen, I'm gonna say this lovingly, but firmly. Stop refinancing your mortgages. It's killing you financially. It's crazy. Now, if you pay it off over a full 30 years, you're going to pay back $515,607 total. $215,000 of that is interest. Over the life of that mortgage, it's 41.81%. And again, if you refinanced in 5 years after getting it started, you're costing yourself a fortune. You're stealing from your own retirement, and you didn't even know it. What does the interest on that mortgage buy you? What are you getting for that? What do you get for 215 grand? Here's a snapshot of a recent truth in lending statement from one of our clients. And you can see that they borrowed $396,670.60 on their mortgage. That's how much they financed. They got what most people would consider screaming deal on the annual percentage rate, 2.659%. But do you see what it says right here on the truth in lending statement? It says this is not your interest rate. I'm going to blow that up so you can see it bigger. It says this is not your interest rate. It's the rate you've got stuck in your head because that's what the mortgage guy wanted you to see, but it's not your interest rate. Well, if that's not my interest rate, what is? It's this big number down here called total interest percentage. The total amount of interest that you're going to pay over the life of the loan, you guessed it, 42.24%. And what are you getting for that money that you're paying in interest? Friends, it's crazy. We are literally giving our retirement to the bank because nobody's ever taught us this until now. So now let me switch gears for a moment and talk about the power of leverage. Would you ever borrow $10,000 on an 8% line of credit, such as a home equity line of credit, or even a credit card, or a business line of credit, personal line of credit? Would you ever borrow 10 grand on an 8% line of credit and take that 10 grand and prepay 10,000 of principal on a $300,000 mortgage that has a 4.5% annual percentage rate? Would you ever do that? Crazy, right? Most of you are saying, no, I wouldn't do that. Well, in fact, it's an extremely smart and strategic strategy. And it's been proven for decades, but this might be the first time you've ever seen this or heard of it. What happens if I do that? If I borrow $10,000 on an 8% line of credit and take that 10 grand, apply it to additional principal on a $300,000 mortgage that has a 4.5% APR, do you know that I immediately knock 24 mortgage payments off the back of that amortization schedule? 2 years of mortgage payments gone with 10 grand. I saved myself $25,454 of interest on my mortgage. And here's the best part. Yes, I still have to pay back the line of credit, but even if it takes me a full year to do it, and even though it's 8% APR, it's only going to cost me $439 of interest. So I'm literally trading $439 of interest at bank A to save $25,454 with bank B. That's a net savings in my pocket of $25,015. Was that smart? You better believe it. And that's just one of the financial strategies that is built into the Money Max account program. That's just one. Friends, I'm going to make this simple because I know you didn't want to spend all night seeing numbers and learning about math. So I'm going to make this really simple. If you were going to take a trip across country, and I'm talking now, 2023, you're going to drive, would you dig out a whole bunch of road maps? Let's say you wanted to go from Boston to Seattle or Boston to LA. Would you dig out the road maps and start mapping it all out and planning it? Nope. My money is on the fact that you're going to pull up your GPS either on your phone or your car, and you're going to punch in your destination on that GPS, and you're going to let that GPS guide you exactly where you need to go every single day of your journey. Why? Because you know it's the fastest route. It's going to avoid the road construction. It's going to avoid the closures. It's going to keep you on that fastest route. It's going to help you all along the way. Tell you even some of the GPSs now, here's where you need to fill up with gas and here's the best prices. And it's going to track you as you go. And if you happen to take a wrong turn, what does it do? It just brings you right back on course. Folks, technology changes things. We have a financial GPS that shows you in real time the exact path to take for you. It's customized for you to become completely debt-free, save as much money as mathematically possible, reach your debt-free destination as fast as possible, and then start building wealth. In some cases, you could even create wealth at the same time you're canceling interest because it's got real-time guidance and financial strategies built in, again, specific to you. Yes, friends, we're in the 21st century and technology changes things in a big way. In fact, I'll go so far as to say technology combined with the right business opportunity at the right time changes everything. And I mean, it changes everything. I'm going to share my story with you in a moment, but I want you to think about this. Now, what if that same power of leverage that you just saw, saving tens or possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars, could now be gained without the need for a line of credit? Do y'all remember what happened in 2008 when the financial market crashed? Banks froze lines of credit. Nobody could get a line of credit. And those who had a line of credit, it got frozen. Well, as a result, United Financial Freedom had to go back to the drawing board, bring in the mathematical engineers and IT team, and they had to literally reinvent this program, investing another $19 million and get it to where it was not reliant upon a line of credit. So now, today, as a result, this powerful program that you just saw works equally efficiently with either a simple checking account and savings account or a line of credit, either one. Let me show you how powerful this thing is. I want to give you a couple of examples here. This is John and Rebecca. You can see their debts. They've got an American Express card they owe $1,250 on at 21.99% interest, an automobile loan at $27,500, 2.99%, monthly payment of $494. Student loan, 30 grand, 2.89%, 164 a month. Visa card, 2,500, 18.99, 64.58 a month. And there's the mortgage, the big one, down there at the bottom, 325,000, 3.89%, monthly payment of 1531.06. When we add those debts up, John and Rebecca are scheduled to pay the bank $386,250 in principal. But on top of that principal, friends, the banks are set to charge them. They've already signed up for paying $241,918 in interest. What are they going to get for $241,918 of interest? You tell me. If this was you, what do you gain for almost $250,000 of interest? I'll tell you what you gain: nothing. And worse, it's going to take you 30 years to pay it off. It's going to steal your ability to invest for your retirement. Well, here comes the Money Max account. And we just put all of John and Rebecca's numbers into the Money Max account. We put in their debts, how each debt is structured. We put in their income. We put in their monthly household expenses, how much they're paying on food and groceries and everything. And this wonderful Money Max account says, no, John and Rebecca, you're not going to have to pay $628,000 total back to the bank. That's the principal plus the interest. You're not going to have to pay $628,000. That's ridiculous. How about if this program has you completely debt-free in 9.1 years? We'll even show you your payoff date. And we're going to save you $171,572 that you would have otherwise paid to the bank. Friends, again, I'm going to come back to this and ask you, would you invest $4,000 one time, $41.94 one time to save $171,000? Of course you wouldn't even be a question mark. Of course. Who wouldn't? You'd be crazy not to. Listen, I don't know about your math, but I'd invest $4,000 to save $10,000. That would be a pretty doggone good investment. Folks, this is so simple. This is what we call a no-brainer in the financial services world. Now, here's the beautiful part of this. This is the same exact money that's currently flowing through John and Rebecca's hands right now. It's just managed with all those algorithms and technology behind the scenes. It's managed in a much more efficient manner to save interest and time. And when I say it's managed by you using this program. We're not going to touch your money. You manage your money. We don't touch your money. We don't touch your bank account. You manage your money in a much, much more efficient manner to save the most amount of time and interest. No change to your lifestyle, no refinancing necessary, just using this program with an ordinary checking and savings account at any bank or credit union. Friends, that's incredible. But then John and Rebecca sit back and look at this and they decide, this is phenomenal. What if we did this part-time as a business and shared it with some people we know and love and care about because we know they're paying a fortune that they don't need to pay too? What if we did this part-time? We'll go ahead and keep our regular jobs and we'll just add this as a part-time venture. What if we went out and helped one family a month? One. What if we helped one family a week? We could do that part-time. 3, 4, 5 hours a week. We could do that part-time. And they start to punch in the numbers. Well, here's what happens if they share it and help just one family a week. Here's their result. And it's an excellent result. Are you looking at my dashboard right here? John and Rebecca are going to be debt-free in 5 years, and they're going to save $201,931 just from helping one family a week part-time. That gets Rebecca thinking, and she thinks, man, why am I killing myself at my day job? Why am I commuting? I'd really rather be home homeschooling my kids. I think I could generate $3,000 a week income with this. Not going to cost me any more, just a little bit more time and effort. What's the result of that? How about if John and Rebecca are debt-free in 2.5 years and save $219,000? Friends, that's extraordinary. Extraordinary. Now, can that happen? It happens far more than you know. Let me share my story really quick, and then I'm going to go into the opportunity part of this and share how that income is very realistic and very easy and very achievable. When I first saw this program, I had $330,000 of personal debt, mortgage, car loans, credit cards, you name it. I was in debt past my eyeballs, feeling that weight and that pressure of the debt. I got on the program, invested in the program, invested in the business side. I became an agent. And 18 months later, thanks to Jesus, and I'll give him all the praise, honor, and glory. We were debt-free in 18 months. So nobody can tell me this can't be done. In fact, Tom Keener's not on the call tonight, but he'd tell you that he paid off a $500,000 mortgage in 18 months using this program and the business opportunity. And if you think that's phenomenal, friends, it gets even better, because after John and Rebecca are completely debt-free in just 2.5 years, they can then invest all that money that was going to debt payments for the next 27.5 years of time that the program saved them. And even if they only got a 1% return at the end of that same 30-year period of time, they could have $4.5 million for retirement. Friends, I told you, this is the greatest business opportunity on the planet. This is brilliant. This is life-changing. Life-changing. And here's just a handful of the many benefits we get: lifetime agent and client support, live agent and client coaching and training, ongoing. All upgrades are free. I bought my program in 2006. Guess what? Every time they upgrade this, it's free. I already own the program. It's free. I've never paid any more for this program other than that original investment. You can do forecasting, true cost. You can forecast, what if I upgraded my kitchen? What if I added a room on? What if I put a swimming pool in the backyard? What if I did real estate investing? You can literally use the program to build wealth, all for that one-time low investment that gets you into the business and puts you on the program yourself personally as a client. It's amazing. It is just, it is amazing. This Money Max Financial GPS program guides every individual family specific to them and their finances. It customizes the action plan for them. And the target market is simple. In today's world, it's almost everybody. People with debt, investors, opportunity seekers. The distribution method is simple. It's word of mouth. That's it, word of mouth. There's no selling. We can run an analysis, show somebody what it'll do for them. There's a lucrative income stream, whether it's part-time or full-time, and I'm going to go into that right now and show you how to make a ton of money. Friends, my best year in this little business that I do from home, and I work when I want to work, and I play when I want to play, and travel if I want to travel, and spend time with family. This business that gave me back time, freedom, pays me 6 different ways. My best year in this business, I made $1.2 million income. Friends, I've had brick and mortar businesses. I've had them. I had a radio station in the 1980s. I know I don't look that old, but I did. Had my own radio station in the 1980s. I had my own restaurant in the late 1980s, early 1990s. I've never made this kind of money with such little time and effort involved, ever. It's incredible. Let me show you what this compensation plan is. And what you first see, I'm going to show you in a moment, is not the whole story, because this thing will blow your mind. Based on an average platinum program for an average family, the commissions start at about $900. Now, the company does want you to split the first 2 sales with a trainer. We want to make sure that you understand what you're doing and do things correctly. So we're going to split the first 2 with a trainer. Then you're going to get a raise. At the next level, you're going to make an average of about $1,000 commission. At the level after that, after you've helped about roughly 10 families, you're going to make about $1,130 per sale. Every time you help somebody save $50, $100, $150, $200,000, your income continues to grow and grow and grow. Each level gives you automatic increases. As you help more families, you get paid more. And folks, here is the magical part of this. You don't have to do it alone. You can if you want to. You can go all the way to managing director if you want to, and never talk to another person in terms of getting them into your business. But here's what you'll run into. When you start saving people a lot of money, they're going to start asking you, how do I do this? People will gravitate to you. They'll see, they'll know. And here's the cool part. When you decide to build a team, if you decide to build a team, it's not required. You and your team's volume count together to help you get promoted. People look at this comp plan and say, oh, it takes 30 sales to get to the top. No, actually, it takes 10 if you're going to build a team. Why 10? Because if I bring in Sally and I'm helping Sally make 10 sales, and I bring in Fred, and Fred makes 10 sales, I go out and make 10 sales personally. Fred sales 10, Sally sales 10, my sales 10, I'm at 30, I'm an executive director. And both Sally and Fred are at least at the director or senior director level by that time. And these little numbers over here on the side, folks, this is where it gets really, really good. You see, when I'm an executive director and my commission is about $1,550 per sale, I'm going to give you an example here. If I have one managing director, one senior director, one senior associate, one associate on my team, there's only me and 5 people, and we're each helping one family per week. Friends, we've got people in this business that are helping 3, 4, 5, 6 families a week. But if me and 5 people on my team, one at each level, we're only helping one family a week, look at my total income on a weekly basis, $3,600 a week. If we each help 2 families a week, that's $7,200 a week. Do you see why this beats the heck out of inflation? Listen, if you're tired of getting your lights kicked out and your teeth kicked in financially, then stop fighting things and get out of debt using this program and start helping others. It's going to change your life. And it doesn't stop there, because as Fred and Sally both get to that same executive director level I'm at, they've got their own teams going. They become executive directors with their own, what we call a base shop, or their own branch, however you want to call it or look at it. I override them and their entire branch's sales, 6 generations. I'm not talking about 6 people. I'm talking about 6 levels of teams that I'm overriding. Do you start to see the big picture? You're starting to see why I made 1.2 million in my best year. And here's the icing on the cake. You remember I told you up front, you can get into this for a one-time investment of about $41.94, payments of about $125 a month. You don't even have to make your first monthly payment until you've already gone out and had the chance of making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. The company will actually pay you bonus money that would more than make up for your monthly payment. This is the icing on the cake, friends. The icing on the cake. If I go out and help 4 families a month, I'm going to get into that personal producer pool. The company takes $50 out of every sale and sets aside to a personal producer pool. And on average, that pool pays the average person that gets into that somewhere between $350 to $500 extra per month. Wait a minute, my monthly payment on my program was $125, and I just got paid $350 in bonus money in above and beyond. That's above and beyond the money I got paid for helping other people. Yes. Yes. This business plan, I'm telling you, it cannot be beat. It's the best business plan on the planet. And you get marketing videos, websites, materials, illustration software, you can do client proposals, analysis. You can track everything. The company tracks it automatically anyway. You're going to get all the training and help and support you'd ever want or need. Again, lifetime support. Friends, did I not tell you when we started? This is the best, the greatest, the most brilliant opportunity and product and program in the world. And I'll say that to anybody because it's true. It beats inflation. You'll crush your debt in record time. You'll become free. It's fast and easy. Get back to the person that referred you tonight. Sign up as an independent agent. Get started on your own MMA program. Start sharing this opportunity with others. And friends, let's have fun along the way. Most people shrink their dreams to match their income. Now you can grow your income to match your dream. Join our crusade. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the family. Steve, I'm going to turn it back to you, my friend.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you at the very beginning that we had an amazing guest speaker tonight. And I think that no one here will walk away from here thinking that that was not a true statement, because Lynn, that was so powerful, so jam-packed with information. I am revved up to absolutely go out right now in the middle of the night and start chatting with people, about what this can do for their life, their family, their financial future, et cetera. But I like for everybody to hear from a couple of people, from all different walks of life. Some are clients, some are agents, just to give you a flavor, just a real short flavor of what Lynn just talked about, of what it's done for them, either business-wise or personally, if by using the product. Is Miss Karen Blakeman with us tonight? Karen, if you're there and you can,
I am
there
here
we
from
go.
Houston, Texas. So, and thank you, Lynn. Oh my gosh, I am energized again too. So I am both a client and an agent. So I started as a client because I was about to refinance and pay $5,000 to refinance to pull some of my money out of my house. And I didn't want to pay that $5,000. So when I found out about the MoneyMax account with a one-time purchase price to help me the whole rest of my life, like you said, it was a no-brainer. So what it showed was that I owed currently 13.2 years. And with the MoneyMax, I could pay it off in 4.7. My only question was, do you mean I could actually retire? So anyway, so that's what got me on. And then I got so excited about it, I became an agent. My first person that I helped get the MoneyMax for them is Patrick. And he owed 28 years, mainly business loans and stuff, with MoneyMax 3.4. He's a year older than me. So, we'll retire at the same time. And then another person, John, brought on as an agent. I think he had gotten from 17 years to 8 something. But while we were in Fort Worth recently, I said, just for grins, put down if you start making an extra $2,000 a month work in this business. Let's just, be conservative. And he put that in 3.1. Woo! Anyway, we're super excited. Love helping people get out of financial slavery. Thanks so much for letting me share.
Thank you so much, Karen. I think you can all see the excitement that she has of not only what the product has done for her, but what it's also done for individuals she knows and loves, and shared exactly what Lynn was talking about tonight. Mr. Steve Bishop, if you're with us tonight, brother, why don't you share with us?
Yes, sir. Thanks, Lynn. Great presentation, brother, as always. Well, my name is Stephen Bishop, and I've been an advisor going all the way back to 1971 as a 20-year-old kid who didn't know nothing, but just loved his wife, Sue. Well, in 2008, I was first introduced to United Financial First, which what the company was called at that time. Went to a meeting in Buckhead in Atlanta, and I was so impressed that I went out to Salt Lake City and met with the creators of our program, John Mushinko and Skylar Whitman. And guess what? Took 2 of our advisors with us. And guess what? Guess who our first client was when we came back? Steve and Sue Bishop. Well, it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing to not have a mortgage. Well, I could go back, I could tell you about client after client, but one I'll share with you, which is really one of my favorite ones. In 2009, early 2009, I was doing a review of one of my clients, and I asked them this question. I said, how many more years do you owe on your mortgage? And she held up 2. I said, you mean 2 years? She says, no, Steve, 2 months. So, well, that's fantastic. So I explained why I asked her that question. About 3 weeks later, she called me up. She said, listen, Brother Bishop, I was speaking to my pastor, and I told him about this program. He wanted to know, would this work with a mortgage on a church? I said, of course it would. So I met with the pastor, his finance team, and his deacons. And on Sunday morning, well, when we put them on in 2009, they had a 20-year mortgage on their church. They owed 14 years and 2 months. Well, 14 years and 2 months left on that mortgage. So 2 years and 9 months later, on a Sunday morning, my wife Sue and I, on their Sunday morning worship hour after the service, went out and burnt their mortgage. Also, I've got one of my clients I spoke with this week that we're planning to burn her mortgage in 4 more months. No more months. Folks, I'm going to tell you this from a guy who's been around the block maybe once. This is the greatest opportunity in America. Let me tell you why. Because you're going to change people's lives. Sure, we compensated well, but we're going to change people's lives. And guess what? We're like the Marine Corps. We need just a few more good people. We need a lot more people. We've only helped over 80,000 people. In this county, Henry County, Georgia, near Atlanta, we live in a county where there's over close to 300,000 people. So, Steve, I better shut up because I could go on. I'll carry the time. Thank you, brother. God bless you.
Fantastic, Steve. Thank you so very much. Dave, you said you got a thumbs up there. You want to give one more shot, my friend?
Let's see what we're doing.
There you go. I can hear you, sir.
All right. So here we go. First of all, to back up Mr. Bishop, I want to let you know, ladies, that the ladies are kicking butt in doing this program. So it's not just a few good men, as the Marines say, it's a few good people who want to learn. Okay. I think it's important to be able to give another very interesting example of how this program works. And I'm going to give you one that's unusual. 2 relatively young, out of college, educated, 29 and 28 years old, just got married. They went through all the things that you do in your 20s and being wild and crazy, to the point where between their student loans and their credit cards, they had $198,650 of debt. Yeah. And according to the lenders, they only had another 35 years and a couple months in front of them to pay it off. Nothing to it. Because of that, when they got married, they started to think about, well, how about if we go buy a home? Well, guess what, folks? They couldn't qualify. They didn't have the proper debt ratios to be able to do it. Imagine that. And they had reasonable income, but they got the MMA. And we took them from a wonderful 35 plus years down to 2.7. 2.7. And while they were on that 2.7 journey, their scores increased on their credit, and they had a whole lot of hope. But here's something else. Not only did they have the hope, but they had the help, and they now had the way to do it for the rest of their lives, because that's part of what the Money Max provides you. And they did it with only the budget that they currently had, which meant that put them in the worst scenario that they could possibly have. Everything else is going to be better. So give it a try, folks. Don't try and do it up here. It's foolish to do that. Give us a try. Get with the person that sent you. Thank you so much. And I say that for being in the financial services business for 48 years. This is the bestest that there is. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you so much for this evening, because you allowed us to come into your home. And I'll just leave you with this one thought. There's nothing that we can do to change what's happened behind us, but we can take today and make a decision that can start a whole new story in front of us. So take the time to get your questions answered. Take the time to sit with the person that thought highly enough of you to invite you here tonight. And I want to be the first one to say that I look forward to sitting side by side with you as we help America to be able to really have hope in their financial future. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, and God bless.